Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Coco and today we're going to be cooking some Greek chicken gyros with a variation for the low carb. So I'm going to make it into a salad, but I'm going to make a little side of lemon parsley rice which goes perfect with this. So I'm still going to have a little bit of rice, but for the most part, it's low carb, and this is a great meal for everybody to enjoy. So stay tuned and come with me and let's cook love. These are the ingredients that you're gonna need. This is, I have some chicken tenderloins defrosted. It's about 1.5 pounds, and this is what you're gonna use. You could use chicken breast and then just cut it up and fry it, but I like these because they're like, you just put 2 or 3 onto the pita bread and it's perfect. You're gonna need about, it depends on how much you want to make, but for the tzatziki sauce, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need some tomatoes that go into the pita. I like Clamato olives. I just got this olive medley which has different ones, but you don't need to use that. A lemon for the marinade, some fresh garlic, some romaine lettuce, or you can use any lettuce you want, but I like romaine because it has good nutritional value. Of course, a purple onion. And then this is one of the things that I made, which I froze, and it's parsley, fresh parsley that I put in with olive oil, and then I just froze it, and then so I just take out as much as I need, and then I just refreeze it and I lay it flat and it's ready to go because parsley goes bad so quick. The other thing you're gonna need is a cucumber, and then of course the various spices that you're gonna need to marinate the chicken in, but we're gonna do that in a minute. And I think that that's it that we needed. Oh, yes, and feta cheese. Let me grab that. So here's the feta cheese, but you can use any. I bought it already crumbled. There's the tomato basil, there's the Mediterranean style, there's the regular original, whatever you like. It tastes great in it, and you can use any of them. I've done them all before. Okay, you guys, so this is the pita bread that I'm using today, and this is like the perfect size to put about 2 to 3 tenderloins in, and so this is what I usually use. Okay, you guys, so now it's time to put in our spices for our marinade. And right here, I have the chicken in a bowl ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're going to add our spices. So I usually like to put a little bit of Himalayan salt because it has good things in there. And when I put about this much in my hand, it's about a teaspoon. Okay, I've measured it, so I'm sure. So I'm gonna start with a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna crack some black pepper on there, and I like to say maybe like about 1/2 teaspoon. About some fresh ground black pepper. I will use some oregano, also about a teaspoon. We're gonna crush that up so it gets all its flavor in there. I'm gonna use some onion powder, some garlic powder, of course, and some paprika. And that's what's gonna give it like that little red flavor. Then I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And then when you cook it, you won't need to put any in there. You just put it straight into your pan. And, oh, I'm gonna add a little bit of turmeric, just like a dash, okay? I don't even really, I just use it once in a while. And then with this, it's red wine vinegar, and this gives it like that little tangy flavor. So I want to say I'm going to use about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. Okay. And now we're going to mix this all up in here. Nice. Yeah, that looks good. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is put a little squirt of a lemon in there. So it's about a couple teaspoons of lemon. So here it is. It looks all flavored. And you can always, once you marinate it, you know, cook one of the strips and see if it tastes good. And if you want to add a little bit more salt or whatever, go ahead and do that at that time. But these are the basics for about this much. And then we're going to cover it and put it in our fridge for, you know, at least 2 hours, but, you know, overnight, whatever you want. Okay, so I know not everybody's gonna have like the parsley, you know, little mixture ready to go, but I've made the lemon rice without it, and it's perfectly fine. You can use it dried, and I've only done it with just lemon, just adding some lemon to it. That gives it a lot of flavor also. So just keep that in mind. But this stuff is the kind of stuff that I like because it comes in handy, and it just always is there for when I need it, just to give whatever meal I'm making that little extra, you know, flavorful feel to it, homemade type of stuff. So just keep that in mind. But right now we're going to make the simple tzatziki sauce. Okay, there's nothing to it, and it's delicious. Okay, you guys, so for this tzatziki sauce, we're going to be using about a cup and a half of the Greek yogurt. I like to have some left over because sometimes I'll use it like just to put a little dollop on the top of the leftovers so I can make a salad the next day. And then I have a half of a lemon squeezed in here, which is a couple tablespoons. And then we're going to do a whole clove of garlic. And we're going to, of course, fresh garlic in this is always really good. And then I'm going to grate up about, I want to say it ends up being about a cup of grated up cucumber. It's gonna go in there, and it's really has a lot of moisture in it, so you can always you know, just squeeze it out. You could do that on a paper towel too if you wanted, but this is like such a forgiving, easy type of sauce to make. You don't really have to, oh, a big chunk got in there. You don't really have to do a lot of measuring. I do a lot of eyeballing it. I'm gonna do a close-up so you can see. It's nice to have this little texture because it just has that really fresh taste. So that was a cup, about a cup of the grated cucumber. And I didn't do it with the, like, I did it with the regular side. You could do it with the finer side if you want it to be finer. And then now I'm going to put about a teaspoon of olive oil. And then I'm gonna crack some pepper in it. I pretty much cook everything with, I cook pepper in it. And then I'm going to put some fresh, some cracked sea salt on it. And it's about maybe a half a teaspoon, but that's obviously gonna be to your taste. So make sure you give it a taste. I usually like to let it sit for a few minutes while I'm doing other stuff, and then I'll give it a taste and see what it needs. And then there it is. So this is already that quick. We're done. Now we're going to cut up our veggies so we can prep, have those prepped to put our pitas together. So now we're gonna prep our filling that goes in it, which is all of our veggies. So fresh romaine, tomatoes, which these are the cherry tomatoes from my garden, so I'm very proud of these. The purple onion, and then olives if you like. Sometimes I have them, sometimes I don't. I don't worry about it if I don't have them, but if I do, those are going in there because it gives it that little salty tanginess in there. So we're gonna cut these up. And here we go. So what I like to do with the romaine is I just do like a little fine chop. And I like using this pine tin for a lot of stuff. I like to grate stuff into it. I like to use it to hold all the ingredients that are ready to go in it. It's just a really versatile thing to use. So that's it for that. And I'll just put it here. And then our onion. This needs to get sliced really fine. And I think that pretty much I've only ever used the purple onion. I know, I mean, I don't know if you can use any other one, but this is definitely the one that's like, the one that they'll use at, like, if you go eat at a Greek place. So, these are really cut really fine. And so that'll be enough. Just need a little bit. And then of course with tomatoes, you can use any tomato, but the cherry tomatoes are really perfect. Like, oh my god, am I using the wrong side? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just cut these in half because they're already conveniently in smaller pieces. These are really ripe, so they're gonna be really good. And then these bigger ones, I'll probably do in quarters, just so they're not too big. And the lemon rice that I'm gonna make is so good. And the reason why I make that is because if you ever go to the Greek place, they have like kind of like a lemon soup there, and my daughter loves it, so this is kind of like a way for me to still incorporate something lemony in it, and it's so good. It's just it's different, you know. And what's funny is I only make it with this meal, but you can do it with other stuff. But these are my they're called midnight snack, so they look kind of weird, but look at them. They're like an heirloom. They're so pretty. And yeah, the name is so cute. That's what made me want to grow them. I'll show you how they look when they come off the vine. Look how cool they are. And they're so good. Okay, and so the last thing that we're gonna cut up is the olives. And these still have their pits. So the way that I do them is I just go like this and I just go around the pit with the knife. And I just take the pit out. And then you'll just have this and I just put it in half. So you don't want like a big huge chunk. So I'll cut them up. And then that'll be what we garnish it with. And there's like some green ones in here. Let me see what this says that it is. It says it's, oh my goodness. It just says olives, but they're all different ones. All right, guys, so next we're gonna get ready to cook our chicken. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is make a really easy Greek dressing, and I do this because I like to have the leftovers for salads, or that night for dinner I'll make myself a salad. And I also make my mother-in-law, my suegra, she eats that for dinner also, and or she'll take some for lunch. So this is perfect to just keep in the fridge. This dressing will last like, I don't know, I've left it in there for up to like a week, but it's great. And all I do is I use a jar that I reuse. I do that a lot with stuff just because why not? It's handy. It goes right back in the fridge, and I just stick it in the dishwasher when I'm ready to reuse it. And we're gonna use a lemon, 1 garlic clove, salt and pepper, some red wine vinegar. This is something that you'll use a lot when you're doing Greek inspired food. Oregano, of course, and I'm gonna be using a little squirt of Dijon mustard. And so let's get to it. So I'm gonna start by mincing up this garlic clove, and I'm just gonna put it right into this jar. And that's all you need. This is, you can double this recipe if you would like. And then we're gonna do about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, the extra virgin olive oil. That's a 1/3 cup. Yeah, so keep in mind you guys could double this. And that's just gonna be enough for like a couple of nights. And okay, now we're gonna do about I don't know, let's say about a tablespoon, a couple of teaspoons of lemon. So that's a 1/2 of a lemon that I'm using there. A little bit of red wine vinegar, about a 1.5 tablespoons. And then a little squirt of the Dijon mustard. Ooh, let me shake that up first. I would say about a teaspoon of it. And then let's do some oregano. Probably about a 1/2 of a teaspoon. And then a little bit of salt. And that's going to be to your taste, but you can start with that much. And of course, some fresh ground black pepper. And then we're gonna use our little spoon whisk and whisk it, and then you let it sit for a little bit in the fridge to get all of its flavors. Oh my god, that's so good, you guys. You're gonna love that. Okay, you guys, so for this part of the lemon rice, it's of course lemon, the little parsley extra virgin olive oil mix that I do. You don't have to use this. You can use dried parsley if you have it. You can use no parsley, but this makes it give that little extra special touch. I'm gonna use long grain rice, salt and pepper, and I'm going to saute the rice in avocado oil because it's high heat, and so it won't like smoke up the house, and it's really good fats. And then of course lemon. And then this is the kind of consommé that I like to use, the chicken one. Let's get started. So we're gonna fry up or saute up just a cup. A cup will obviously double to 2 cups, which is plenty for my family. And so we're gonna start with 1 cup. And we're gonna get our, I would put about a tablespoon of oil in there. And so let's get started. And we're gonna start when the oil is a little bit starting to get hot. Oh my god, I think it was a little bit wet, but we're gonna go with it. All of it's nice and starting to turn like kind of golden brown. Then we're gonna come through with our 2 cups of water because it's 2 to 1. I have to measure this because I can't put my finger in it to see. So I'm gonna pour the water in. We're gonna let that heat through. And once it heats up, we're gonna put our chicken bouillon, and so I'm gonna put about a teaspoon, and then I'm gonna taste it and see. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, some pepper, probably about half or quarter teaspoon, probably, just whatever you like. Everybody's different. And then I'm going to squeeze half of a lemon in here. I'm gonna start with that. That's about 2 teaspoons. Half of a regular sized lemon is about 2 teaspoons. And then this parsley mix that I do, I'm probably just gonna do about a tablespoon of it. And see, it's just literally olive oil and parsley. And I'm gonna put that in there. Back into the freezer you go. And so it starts to look really pretty and fresh. See it? It smells so good. Fresh parsley smells so good. Well, like any other fresh herbs, it just has a different smell. Like it has like that home cooked feel like that you don't get as much when you use dried stuff. But of course, I don't always have parsley on hand, so I use whatever I have to dress it up. So I'm gonna show you a close-up of how pretty it looks. And once this starts to get back to a boil, I'm gonna cover it. So let's try it to make sure that it's flavored enough. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt. You don't want it to have too much of the chicken flavor. It's just to give it a little bit of like a savory taste. And you don't even have to use it. I've done it without it too, but it just has that, I don't know, it just gives it like a really good flavor. I'm gonna put a little bit more lemon just because I want it to be lemony. So at this point, I think I've probably put about, let's say 3 teaspoons, 3 to 4 teaspoons. So now it's got a good little boil going. I'm gonna give it one last mix and taste. Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze the rest of this lemon in there. A little bit more salt. Okay, and then we're gonna cover it and let it simmer. Okay, everybody, so our chicken is cooked. Look how pretty this looks. It's all nice and look how juicy and soft it is. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so now we're going to make this 2 ways. One for a Greek salad and one for the Greek hero pita, okay? So let's do this. So here's the pita. We're gonna warm it up just so that it's like pliable, and that's the word, it doesn't crack. Okay? You could just leave it out and it'll do that, but mine are in the fridge. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for, I don't know, let's go with 30, because why not? And then we're going to get our chicken. Now, with the chicken, you can either shred it, not shred it, but like chop it into a few pieces, or you can use the whole piece like this, and I'll use like 3, but it depends. Like, so for the salad, I'll chop it up, or, you know, but for the pitas, I'll usually just put the 3 in there. And then, or if you want to like put it for a salad for the next day, just put them whole, and then you can just break it into pieces when you're ready to have it. Okay, so here's our pita. Look, it's like easier to fold and all that. Okay, so now we're going to go over here and we're going to put it all together. So we want to do pita, the tzatziki sauce, which is what I usually will put it first. So it's ready to go. Whatever you like. I like a lot of little. Okay, now we're gonna do the feta. So the feta, I usually buy in crumbles, but I bought it like this, and then so you just crumble it. Just crumble it up, however much you like. Okay, then we're going to split our chicken. So we have our, I'll probably do like 3 pieces. Okay, look how pretty that looks. Then we're going to do a little bit of lettuce, some purple onions on top, and some of our tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. And look at that. Look how pretty. It's so simple and fresh, and this, you're gonna love this. Okay, so that's for that. Let me turn this. I forgot to turn the vent off. If you hear that clippity clap, that's my dogs. They smell food and they know where it is. Yes, there. So this is about a couple cups of romaine. And I like to use romaine. I know that sometimes at the Greek places they'll use the iceberg. You could mix it, but I like this because it has nutritional value, because I'm always trying to do what's best as far as that goes. So I'll even give my family that, but if they don't like romaine, just chop it up really super fine and they won't know the difference. So we have that. Now I'm going to put a little bit of feta on top, and that's however much you like. Oh my goodness. Rinse my hands here because I want to show you my little friend that's always with me. She's my audience here. Say hi, Pippi. Hi, Pippi girl. She's gonna get some chicken just for being in here with me. Okay, so sorry guys, we're going back to the chicken. So I usually will say let's do about three tenderloin strips. That would be about, I don't know, a few ounces of meat. Servings usually about, I think, about 4 ounces, so that's about good right there. Then we just do the same thing that we did. Look at that. We do the same thing that we did with some red onions on top, some tomatoes. And I love tomatoes, so I'm going to use them. And then did feta. I'm going to put a little bit of tzatziki sauce because, like, why not? And you could also chop up cucumbers and put it in here, fresh ones. I've also done that. Okay, and then now we're just going to drizzle our Greek dressing on top. Oh, this is so good. And since I am low carbing it, I'm only gonna try a little bit of the rice, and I'll put it on the side. And so here's the rice, and you could add more of that parsley. You could add more lemon. This is how it came out this time, and I've never had a complaint really. So let's get ready and do a taste of this. Okay, you guys, so I am like, this is such an easy and delicious meal. I hope you guys try it. So here's a little of the tzatziki. Look at that. Look at this. Better than the restaurant. I guarantee you if you try it. My family's gonna love this tonight. We all get what we wanted. We all get to enjoy this delicious meal together. And look how easy it was. So I hope you like it. I hope you tried it. Please like and subscribe. And also leave me a comment And any ideas that you have or things that you want me to try, I try cooking all kinds of stuff. Anything that I feel like making, I will try it. And I'll try it and try it and try it until it comes out good. And then it's basically on my menu for the week with my family. So please give it a try, and I hope you enjoy. Bye.